guys. Can you guys hear me? If you can you put a thumbs up?
Hey, y'all.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, you look so cute. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you.
Okay, sassy. All right. Hey, Alexis. Oh, my gosh. Guys, this is my first time doing a live stream. I'm excited. I'm also nervous. So, bear with me out.
It's all right. But where is everybody from, though?
Black girl, green thumb. Hey, girl.
I am in LA, born and raised in California.
I'm in Detroit. Where's everybody at? Tell us where you're from, your location. Florida. Okay, Florida. Houston. LBC. Wait, what's LBC?
Long Beach
Long
City.
Beach, California. Okay.
Yeah.
North Carolina. Thank God that you're from California because I wouldn't have known.
I'm trying to put this hat on.
ATL, Shawty. Okay, cool.
Let me see if it works.
Is that a bad girl, good human hat? I spy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Toronto. Ooh, some of y'all are asking questions about like the shipping of
Right.
and
I don't know. I'm assuming that they do, but I don't know.
So we're gonna be talking about self-care and starting a business, but we're gonna wait till more people pull up.
Yeah, we'll give it till exactly 4:05. So like however many more seconds is left in this minute, and then we'll start.
We're rolling, okay.
Yeah.
And 7:05 if you're in Eastern Standard Time.
How many questions do you have for me?
I don't know how many questions I have for you. Actually, it's kind of all over the place. I'm looking at them right here, but they're like I don't have numbers. But we just gonna like freestyle it.
I got about 5.
Hey, Nisi. Oh, my mom's in here. Hey, Mom.
Oh, hi.
What's the best mindset for an entrepreneur? Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a good.
Shall we answer it now or should we wait until like we get into
later?
it?
Later.
Okay.
For any
questions, we got you, girl. We're gonna answer that. Let me write it down.
Right. Any questions that you guys might want to ask, put it in the question box, and when we're finished, if we have enough time, we'll go in and get to the questions asked.
Yeah.
But let's get started.
Okay. Introductions.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey guys, so I'm the founder of MyBrownBox, which is a digital platform and a community for Black women. It serves as a safe space for Black women to thrive and connect with one another, and just talk about all things like Black womanhood. So if you want to join the conversation, head over to MyBrownBox and become a part of our community. We got some really cool things in store, and that's pretty much who I am. Oh.
Okay. Hello, you guys. My name is Orisha, born and raised in California. I am the founder of Bad Girl Good Human. It is a lifestyle brand that encourages women to embrace their duality, embrace their multi-dimensions, and just all of who they are, without fault, without guilt. It is really just I call it a safe space, to just break down, rebuild, and then go back out into the world when you see fit. And that's really the premise of all things Bad Girl Good Human.
Yeah, I love Bad Girl Good Human. I remember when it originated, when it came to fruition. But that's a whole nother story. So we're just gonna get into some questions. So how me and Orisha, I call her O. How we decided to do this is we have these questions that we're going to ask each other about self-care, starting a business, wellness, and she doesn't know what I'm going to ask her, and I don't know what she's going to ask me. So it's going to be super authentic, and it's just going to be an intimate conversation between girlfriends.
Yeah. So if it gets a little weird, just don't mind that, please, because that's just how we are.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna start off with a question for you.
Okay.
Because I know that you love going to Whole Foods because every time we travel somewhere, somehow we make some type of impromptu stop at a Whole Foods.
Yes.
So you're pulling up to Whole Foods today. What 3 items are you grabbing?
I'm gonna, even though we just talked about this. Even though they're expensive, I'm gonna grab me an avocado. I'm gonna grab avocado. I'm going to grab, if I don't have them, I'm gonna grab an echinacea tincture or an oregano tincture. And the third thing that I would get, if I'm feeling freaky, like I'll get some like vegan ice cream, but I really don't eat ice cream that much. So I might get that, or I might get the Whole Foods cookies. They're vanilla cookies, like the Whole Foods brand. Girl, those slap at like any given time of the day. So that's what I'm getting at Whole Foods.
Facts. Those vanilla cookies are on point. Chips, noodles, and Sprite. Somebody said chips, noodles, and Sprite. Do they sell Sprite at Whole Foods?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why I don't see like that stuff. It's probably because I go there specifically looking for like a certain type of thing.
Exactly.
But Sprite always hits the spot. Okay, so you mentioned like some tinctures. You mentioned like the oil of oregano. So self-care, we know self-care is important all around, like for your physical and just like making it a lifestyle. But as we go through these times with like COVID and all of the craziness, what is the oil of oregano good for, like, and what other tinctures are good for boosting your immune system? Because I know you've been really into them lately.
Yeah, so that's really what they do. They really just boost the immune system. I would say the oil of oregano is kind of like, it'll kind of like put some hair on your chest because it's very, very, it's spicy, and you have to kind of build up to that one. My friend equated it to being like the quote unquote bleach of herbs, like meaning that's how powerful it is. Not meaning you can't take it, but it's just the potency of it is just really strong. What else? I've taken the echinacea and the elderberry, but I typically get that in syrup because every time for some reason I can't get it in a tincture, so I just get elderberry syrup. So I'll take all of those 3, sometimes all 3 in a day, sometimes one a day, but those are the 3 that I typically circulate in my just everyday routine.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. Someone said that is just strong, even just a drop.
Yeah,
that's so true.
It is.
Like I made some juices the other day and I put literally like the recommended dose, just a drop in, and my family thought that like I set them up. They're like, you put a lot in here. I'm like, no, I just put 1 drop. Like y'all just can't handle it.
Right, exactly. I'm OD. Like I'm really OD with things like that. So now I take the whole tincture. Like I'm drawing it like full, and I'm putting it in a shot glass with like a little bit of water, and I'm just knocking it. I'm knocking it all the way back. Yeah.
So you're just an OG with it because
period. That's how you got to do it.
Yeah, but no, I've been into some of the tinctures lately too. But like I've really been. Emergency is also the old faithful. So don't sleep on your. Listen, I know you bougie. You bougie, but emergency is good too. Yes, echinacea. Yes. Black seed oil. We've been using oil over here, which I don't like the taste, but it's really powerful. Like I definitely recommend black seed oil. Okay. Cool. So, I'm not going to ask you all of my questions first. So,
I know. Like, I'm just trying to, because that was kind of fun. I feel like I have like, not deep questions, but like thoughtful questions. But I do want to know personally, because I don't think I've asked you this, even though we're really good friends. I don't think I asked you what experiences led you to commence My Brown Box. Like what happened to lead you to like want to start this platform?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I don't know where to begin because a lot happened. So many people don't know that My Brown Box started off as a subscription box that catered to the beauty needs of Black women. And that started back in 2013. Like, I was young, and it was just to me, it was a really good idea. But not only was it a really good idea, but I just felt like it was extremely needed because I had gotten a Birchbox. I don't know if, some people know about Birchbox, but I had subscribed to Birchbox, got a box, and like it had a makeup product in it that just didn't match my skin tone whatsoever. And I'm like, I filled out a beauty profile. I thought that this was going to be like a box that was filled with things that catered to me, but it wasn't. So I was like, what would be really dope if Black women were to have their own like box of items, just like a really feel good experience, a box of items that catered to our beauty needs. And that was how I started My Brown Box. Like, I hit the ground running. And then it just kind of like evolved into a whole different thing. And here we are today. But there's some surprises coming up for y'all. So make sure y'all on that mailing list.
Because that's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. Okay.
Hey, Hope. Aw, sunflowers, love them. Oh, Beauty Brownie, yes, Beauty Brownie is in here, and Beauty Brownie was actually one of the products that we included in the box. Like, we had this bomb lavender lipstick that was just like, I still got some. Like, it's in my it's in the bathroom in the drawer. I put that on when I'm feeling spicy.
Okay. That was good. That was good. Okay. Well, I'm nervous. Like, what else you got for me? What other question you got?
Oh, you want some more questions? Okay. So this is just a lighthearted question. We know you're really good with the playlist. Actually, like, you have released the Bad Girl Good Human playlist that is super vibey. So I'm curious to know, what music have you been going to? Like, what has been your feel good song? Because I feel like music is it's so universal, and it's just something that like instantly when you hear some like high vibrational music, it just picks you up. So I think that it's important to keep around. But I'm curious to know, like, what's been keeping you up lately?
What's been keeping me up? Well, I'll just say yesterday was just straight Nipsey all day because, like, what? Like,
yeah, because
if you weren't playing Nipsey yesterday, then what were you doing?
Right.
But just on a regular, for me, I typically, and this is probably the opposite of most people, I think, I start my days like high power. Like, I can't start it with the Sade. I started with Rick Ross. Like, we out the gate, like, every day I'm hustling. So that, he's definitely what gets me going. We both know a Kanye gets me going. I haven't been listening to him that much lately, but let me actually look in my list to see like what I've been listening to. Aside from high power stuff, Lucky Day. I've been listening to Lucky Day, 2 songs specifically, just on loop. Who else? I butchered this woman's name, but I'm gonna like say it for the sake of the live. Is it Leanne Havas?
Girl, it's so funny because I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, I'm gonna try to mention her name, and I'm not gonna say it. I don't know. Somebody
is it that
pronunciation in the comments?
Yeah,
Leanne Las Havas. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Her.
But her, been listening to her. Her new project is really great. It's really great. Yeah. It makes me feel like I'm somewhere else, even in the midst of like my own shit, my own stuff. It makes me like time travel. And to your point, like, yeah, like music is so universal, and I know anytime I hear something, whether it's from like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I instantly can time travel back to when I heard the song or how it made me feel in that time. So
Yeah, I like that. That's how I feel with like Sade's music. You know, it's like as soon as I hear it, it just puts me in a whole nother world. It just feels good, you know. So
she's
yeah,
everything.
what I'm curious to know, like, what have you guys been listening to uplift your vibes during these times?
Right.
Like, drop some songs in the comments. You got something playing in the background too. What you got playing?
Marvin Gaye, because it's
Oh,
Sunday.
Marvin Gaye. See, y'all, we're old school. We old
Yeah.
school. OGs. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like, those are the questions, the fun questions I have for you. The other questions are about to be a little bit more related to like, you know,
Deep things.
self-care, mental health, all of that good stuff.
Okay. Okay. I think this is a
Hey,
pretty
Bria.
light question. Okay. Who are you outside of working parameters? Like we see how consumed we can get with work and how it can like what
Someone said Cleo Soul, When I'm in Your Arms. I really love her music.
she's great. I like her.
Give it to her bottom Foot Locker. What's the other one? I'm just looking through. Nina Simone, yes. Sam Cooke, Anderson Paak, stay in my rotation for sure.
Yeah, I literally just listened to Anderson Paak yesterday because I guess him and Rick Ross have a new song out, and I just listened to
Really?
it yesterday. Yeah, it's
I gotta
cool.
check that out. Elaine Elements Project. Dope. I
It's,
gotta check out Elaine Elements. I've never heard of. Is that a? I'm assuming it's a woman. I've never heard of her. Have you, Lo?
mm-mm. Cleo Soul though, I like her. I
Yes,
like
I
her a
have a
lot.
playlist on it. Nice. Thanks for sharing, y'all. And yes, your lives matter.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Next question.
Hit me with,
Um,
hit me with, hit me with.
who are you outside of working parameters? Like
Who am I
we're so
outside of working
consumed. Like we're so consumed with our everyday, like with our work and like just trying to level up that we often like bind ourselves to our work and we don't know how to separate. So like who are you outside of MBV? Who is Brittney Marshall away from My Brown Box?
Ooh, that's a real question. I've thought about this a lot of times because it is so easy, I feel like, to get like caught up in titles and like defining yourselves by your work. And that's something that I've like over the years, I think of growing up, I've had to learn how to separate myself. So I really like that question because it also kind of like makes me go within, which is something that like as you get caught up in like everyday tasks of like running a business and stuff, you don't really think about much. You just kind of like
Yeah.
move and groove. So who is Brittney outside of My Brown Box and like work? I am I'm a lover. I'm a friend. Oh my god, I'm gonna make myself cry. Nah, I'm a lover and a friend. I'm super family oriented. Like I love my family. I'm a girlfriend or like a partner, whatever you want to call it. I am someone who's just like passionate about motivating people. Like I'm a passion pusher, and sometimes it can be like a bit overbearing, but I'm definitely, if I know you, or even if I don't know you, but you tell me like that you have goals and you have something that you want to accomplish, I'm going to push you to move forward on it, and like that's just my being. Who else? Like I love animals. I love dogs. I have a dog named Stewie who is like the most spoiled brat ever, but we all love Stewie. We know he's crazy, but we love him. I don't know. Like I'm really big on creativity. Like I have a lot of creative ideas that I Sometimes I execute them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes they're just like in a notebook, and I'm just like wait until that perfect moment to feel like it's time to execute them. I don't know. There's a lot of different sides to me, but what some people don't know is that like I'm really into creating things that like I don't see often. So like something that's like in my back pocket is I want to write a script. And for me, that wouldn't be considered work because that's just something that like I want to do, something that will like set my soul on fire. I don't know. I like chapstick a lot. No, for real. I really like chapstick. So I always have to have like lip balm with me. I like smoothies a lot. These are just like things that like I think like I used to live in LA. I moved to LA and one of the top things on my mind was to go there for the smoothies, like on demand, because they got smoothie shops and healthy stuff all day.
Oh, wow.
So if y'all follow me on Instagram, you'll see that like I've been posting juices and like that's just something that those are just things that like make up who I am. And it's just things that make me happy. So I don't know. I think that what do you like? Who would you say that I am? You're a close friend, so you know
who's the. I feel like honestly, because you're so in tune, you literally said like some of the things that I would say about you. The passion pusher, I can definitely vouch for that. Like you are that, and you've been that since I met you, like out the gate. You're very fun. You're so playful. Goofy with me often.
Yeah,
I love.
Y'all, and we're holding back right now because like trying to keep it like not too ratchet, but it goes down.
It goes down off the gram.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It goes down. I see my friends in here, Britt's in here. We got some more stuff rolling out for Foot Locker Detroit and Foot Locker Women. So stay tuned because Britt helped me with some of that. Kenya, hey girl. Thanks for joining. And before we like go further to the conversation, like I just want to say thank you so much to Foot Locker Women and Foot Locker Detroit for elevating the voices of Black women and for providing this space for us. I feel like it's so needed. I feel like this is like a major commitment, and it's just dope to see like brands doing this and following through with it because everybody can't do it and everybody wants to do it, but this is it's important. And I think that this like really builds like it builds brand loyalty.
So, it does. Yeah. I think that it's imperative. I don't even want to say especially because of right now, but just all the time. Not just because of what's going on right now, but I think that it is imperative to have our voices echoed because they're often like silenced for whatever reason. And I think this is beautiful what Foot Locker Women is doing for us.
Girl, I see Alexa. She's like the social media manager. She's super dope for Foot Locker Women. Okay, and as we like talk about women having a voice, I have a question for you, because your brand is all about like the duality of the woman and just like really being unapologetic, like in all ways we see it. So I'm curious to know how has like providing that space, what has that done for you? What has creating Bad Girl Good Human done for you? And what have you seen how has it affected the women who are a part of your community and the women who are introduced to your community? Like in what ways?
I think that if I'm answering this like correct, if I heard you correctly, so you're saying like how has it changed me, right? Like how has it affected me?
Yeah, always. Like how has the space that you've provided over at Bad Girl Good Human, how has that space like affected women, your audience, and you as a
I think that because Bad Girl Good Human is such something that is, it stems from my life. Like, it's parallel to my real life. Um, and putting it out, it has really transformed me. Like, at home, like me, like it has transformed me in ways that I didn't even think that I could transform, and it has happened so fast. Um, this year will make 3 years in December that BGGH has been out, and in these like almost 3 years, I, like, looking at myself from the start, I am like my wildest dreams now. And I'm still becoming my wildest dreams now. And I wake up every day in awe of myself because of the decisions that I have made to get me to this point with Bad Girl Good Human. And I think that because of what I always say, the deciding and committing factor that I practice daily with Bad Girl Good Human, filtering that into the business and my personal life, both, I think that it's because women can see it demonstrated, they can also feel like, damn, like, oh, well, I can do this same thing too. Mm-hmm. It's being demonstrated so vividly that I can almost touch it. You know what I mean? Like, I can almost touch it my own self, and I can do this thing too.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's almost a mirror effect.
I like that. I like that. So basically, you're saying that like you're your own mood board, like you are your own muse. One, and two, and two, you like by creating Bad Girl Good Human and women seeing like these certain images, and seeing you in business and like running this business and also like putting yourself in it so deeply that they connect with it and it makes them empowered or empowers them as well.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Someone's saying boobs. Clearly you're a fan of women. I don't know if, I mean, you know, you can hang out for a bit. Why not? So,
like, okay.
I like that. I like that answer. Because I love Bad Girl Good Human. I mean, like, when a picture drops on my timeline, I'm like, first of all, I can tell that it's Bad Girl Good Human. Second of all, like, the bad girl in it is just like everything.
I mean, I could say the same for you. I feel like I've told you this before off the record. Like, yo, where do you be finding some of this stuff at? Like, you know, I be in the crevices of the internet. But where do you be going? Because I don't, like, where are these animations coming from? These, like what are these moving images? Where are they coming from? I don't understand.
Well, you know, one of the things that's, like, really important to me, like, with my brown box is being able to spotlight the works of different Black women. So it's like literally I'm pulling from everywhere, curating from everywhere. A lot of it is UGC, user generated content, because my brown box is a platform for Black women. So showcasing the works of these women, showcasing their voices, their thoughts, their ideals, their perspectives, like that's what it's all about. So anywhere and everywhere I'm pulling from. If I'm just like out, you know, in the real world and I hear like a conversation, I'm like, ooh, that'd be good. So I'm like, I'm hearing a quote. I'm going to take the quote and like kind of like spin it and put my own twist to it and just like make it into a thing. And like, that's just how I move. So for me, you know, when you ask me like, who am I outside of work? I'm a person who's really curious. Like if you say something or if a person says something, I'm going to look it up. Like, okay. I'm gonna find out what they talking about.
Right.
So for me, it's like I get inspired by like everyday life events, occurrences, and it's just, I don't know, just like it moves me. So that's where I find content, like within the real world, online, on Instagram, you name it, all over the internet, all over the internets.
Yeah, all over Rihanna's internet, all over Beyonce's internet.
Exactly. You know what? As you like mentioned, as you answered the last question, like a question came up in my mind. How important is it to you for people to create a brand that that is connected to them, that like that they identify with in a way where it's like bad girl, good human. Like that's ultimately kind of like your alter ego, you know?
Yeah.
So like, or is it your alter ego? Is that just you? I don't know. But yeah, so like how important is it to you for people to create brands that like resonate with them or like that they can identify with?
It's so wow. It's so funny that you asked that because I literally just tweeted something this morning while I was laying in bed.
Mm.
During like my quiet time, I was just thinking. What did I tweet? I said speaking and moving from a core level only.
Listen, I got that on my questions for you. Yeah, I went to your Twitter. I pulled something up from your Twitter.
So, I think for me, it's important to be connected with the things that you're talking about. Even before having my own business and working for other people, when it came down time for me to explain something about wherever I was working, I could do it, just because out of practice. But it wasn't from a space where, oh, I feel this inside. Whatever it is, like, oh, I'm in touch with this. So now that I have something that I am so in touch with, I am able to speak about it in such a precise way where I don't even really have to say a whole lot. It's just like a one and done type of thing, and that's it. Almost like a less is more thing, and that just came from shit. That just came from.
It's okay.
That just came from me operating from a core level only. Like I only speak when it's really from a core level, and I only do things and really move from a core level only.
Yeah, like I like that because I definitely had that on my list of questions for you. Like, what did you mean by that tweet? So that's like a perfect segue into it. And it's like, what did you say? Let me see. Do I have it like word for word? Do I have the actual like tweet from you? I don't know. Maybe I don't. But nonetheless,
was it that one? Because I have my phone pulled up.
It was that one, but I know you have a lot of them.
I can run you the 3 that I put up this morning.
Okay, yeah, like run those.
I can run you the 3.
I'm just curious now.
So it was that one, and the one following that was I've become quite the observer, so much so that I examine myself / thoughts in the way I listen to understand other people.
Someone said, I'm sorry, someone said they love the decide and commit in your mirror.
Thank you. I love this so much too that it's tattooed on my arm. Like I'm serious about it. Once I decide about a thing, then I commit to it every day.
And that's just what it is.
Period.
That's my period. So basically, like what you're saying is like when you're connected to a brand or like to your business or a thing, like you speak about it from a place of passion. And it's like when it's passion, it doesn't really have to be explained because it's like people, right. And you don't have to prove yourself because like that's just what it is, and people can see that. It's just like seeping out of your pores. Right. Yeah, she's definitely committed. Like she's committed. She's committed. I have the same question. I got a question for you. As we talk about like commitment and like deciding and committing, who are you outside of BGGH? Outside of Bad Girl, the Human Work?
Dang, don't put me on the spot like that. I mean, I'm very passionate. So outside of work, I'm still a passionate person outside of work. I am an observer outside of work, but I think that me being like an observer helps with work also, but that's just who I am. Or become to like be is like this passionate, observant person. What else? Who else am I outside of?
You are a lover also.
That too. I think that goes hand in hand with the passion. Like I will, yeah. Once I love a thing or a person, hobby, like it, I'm very much into the thing. It's like a tunnel vision almost. Like I don't see anything else but.
Facts. Someone said that you're an amazing friend too.
Oh,
That's the best said that.
that's my best friend.
Oh, hey Jess girl. Oh, thanks support the king. Okay, so we have a question. Do we have a question box on O?
Yes, it is. It is.
So one of the questions is, how do you have confidence when you first start something you really want to be dedicated to? How do you have confidence when you first start something you really want to be? Well, I can answer just like my perspective on that.
Yeah.
I guess if you have the confidence, then if you have the confidence, you just like do it. I mean, how do you have confidence when you first start something you really want to be dedicated to? I think the question is like, if you want to be dedicated to it, and then you just have to do it. Like I don't, decide and commit. Like Orisha said, like I think that it's just like you have to be steadfast in what you want. Like you have to know that you want that, and it's like you have to identify the steps to take to achieve it. And I think it's just as simple as that. Like it sounds easier said than done, of course, because starting things is like never easy. But I think that a lot of times we get in our heads and we think about like what can go wrong, or like what if I fail or something like that. But it's like at the end of the day, you just gotta like throw that in the garbage and like and get it moving.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I feel like someone asked me a similar question like last week or 2 weeks ago about the whole confidence thing. And if I'm being 100, I was not as confident as I am now when I started. And I'm still working on my confidence in different areas of my life. But the thing was, like, I wanted to just do this thing so much that I didn't give a damn if I wasn't as confident. I just did the thing, and the confidence grew as I continued to do the thing.
Yeah.
And you just, it grows. Like, it grows with you. But you have to be open to fall on your face. You have to be open to fall on your face. And once I like open myself up to failures, they no longer really look like failures. It's like, okay, wait a minute. So let me act in like a solution-based like way now. Like instead of this being a failure, it's like, okay, that didn't work. But what does in this? This didn't work. But how can I make this better? What's the tweak in this? So I think the road to confidence is like scary to like most times it's like intimidating and it's scary, but once you get in it and your perspective shifts when certain things come about, confidence will build and you'll look up and you'll be like, oh wow, look at me.
Yeah, that's so true. Because I mean, like, man, when I first started MyBrownBox, like the first day that I actually launched the company and put the word out and like products went up for sale, I was so nervous, y'all. Like I didn't expect for things to take off the way that they took off. But it was just like, it was a thing. Like I grew with it, like you learn and you just like make revisions along the way. And like, that's always my, the thing that I tell people who want to start something is like, you start it, and then you make those revisions as you go. If you have to pivot or like slow down for a bit, then do that. But it's like, keep going, make the pivots, make the revisions, and just like, go after the things that you want, because at the end of the day, like no one's gonna hold your hand through the process.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Especially like there's things that people are creating that don't have a blueprint. So you gotta just like,
I didn't.
Yeah, like you don't have a blueprint, especially when you're like entering like new fields, like a new product innovation, like you don't have a blueprint. So you just kind of have to you have to have that faith in yourself, and that faith in whatever, whatever you believe in. Cause, that's just kind of like, I feel like that's just like the way, oh, look, there's more questions. That's just what it is.
I have some in this box here. It's like 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. No.
Do you ladies have current book, Audible, you're reading for your self-care balance to recommend? Yes, Jen. I've been listening to, well, I have a few different things, and I'll show you guys a few self-care things that I purchased as of late. So I have this self-care check-in, which is a guided journal to building healthy habits and devoting time to you by Gigi Renee Hill. And it's like basically a journal with like tons of prompts in it. I'll show you guys the inside of it. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah. So it's called the Self-Care Check-In. And if you go to MyBrownBox website, we have it under resources. And then I have another book called Vibrate Higher Daily.
Oh my God, I love her. Love that woman. Met her last year. She's great. She's great.
Yeah, she has a really, really good spirit. There's podcasts too. Like I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and like just doing affirmations daily. But the podcast that I really like to tap into for my self-care, I like Black Girl and On. Their podcast is really good. And I also like Hey Girl by Alex L. And you mentioned Audibles. Yeah, I have those books. I haven't really been like on the Audibles too much lately, but yeah, the podcast has been like a thing that I tap into usually in the mornings to kind of like get my day started. And it's just easy to like be able to listen to a podcast, and multitask.
Right.
So, yeah.
Y'all don't want to know what podcast I listen to.
Yes, I do. I want to know what podcast you listen to.
Yo, literally the podcast that I put it on my projector and I watch it and I also listen to it when I'm moving around. It's Joe Budden every Friday. I'm listening to Joe Budden every Friday. Act a fool. And I will say that that's like the only podcast that I actually like tune into like on a weekly basis. If he say they're dropping 3 times a week, I'm in 3 times a week. So yeah.
Girl, see, that's my friend, y'all. She's always gonna bring like the other, like the duality of me, like that ratchet side. But Joe Budden, that's self-care too, because it's just like good entertainment. And I was actually watching it with my boyfriend today because it's interesting, like hearing men's perspective on things. And I was like, what are y'all talking about? But it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, they don't always be fooling around on there. Like they do get, like there's something to take away from it.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Definitely not trying to dog the Joe Budden podcast because I rock with the Joe Budden podcast.
I have a question for you.
Okay, don't ask me no hard questions.
It's not.
I love seeing Black women shine. This is so great. Thanks, Ari. We love seeing Black women shine too. When you have confidence and believe in yourself, ain't nobody in this world can tell you nothing but God. That's right, girl. You better speak on it. I'm so happy that we're coming together as a country, community, and as humans all together. Every day is a chance to reach a new level of unprecedented innovation. That's all
I'm saying.
Listen,
that's all we talking about.
Let's talk about sneakers. Okay, that's what you trying to do, girl. What? We're not gonna talk about sneakers right now, but we can talk about sneakers as it relates to taking walks outside for your self-care.
Right.
I be needing those walks during this quarantine stuff, and it's crazy because it's like at the end of the day, I don't even know if we're in quarantine for real anymore, but it just feels like it. I think it's like a mental thing.
It is. I don't subscribe to being quarantined. Not to say I never really went nowhere in the first place. Let's just start there. I never went anywhere. Where y'all see me right now is where I'm at
That's
90% of the time. I'm going out of the house to get an avocado. So that's really it, or going to the post office. Other than that,
you at the crib.
I'm here.
I'm at the crib. Okay, someone said the duality is so important for women to embrace. We're shaking spaces with so much intention. Go, queens. Love it. Erica, yes, girl. We are shaking spaces, and it's phenomenal. Like, yeah. I just think that this, like, these times, like, there's so much greatness that can happen and that can come out of it. It's all about, like, I feel like shifting, perspective. Like, I don't know, like, make the best out of it. Like I said, like, that does sound easier said than done, but at the end of the day, I feel like there is some positivity that can come out of it.
Right.
Let's get back to, first of all, are there any other questions? Any questions that you guys have as it relates to self-care, starting a business?
Actually, there's one right there.
Ooh. Alexa.
How do you incorporate time of self-care in your routine? That's actually kind of like, it's a kind of question that I have for you, but just like different, like worded differently. So like, yeah, how do you incorporate time of self-care in your routine?
I love how you like twist that question to be like me answering. No, that's a great question though. How do you incorporate time of self-care into your routine? Self-care is something that, like, I think about all day, because I'm also thinking about, like, how easy it is for me to fall into, like, not caring for myself as I, like, run my brown box. So I'm just really mindful. I take, like, moments to do the things that I know make me happy. So, like, when I get up in the mornings, like, I'm making sure that I have that at least, like, a block in the morning, so that I can, like, get in the kitchen, make a pressed juice for myself, and for my boyfriend, and make some tea, like those, because those are things that make me happy. And I also know that, like, if I don't do certain things, it's going to throw me off, and it's going to throw my day off or my week off. So I'm just, like, really mindful and intentional about it. Yeah, being intentional about setting time, having a schedule, those are things that's, like, really important when it comes to making sure that I incorporate time for self-care into my routine. There's just, like, certain things that I'll do. Like, self-care for me can be super simple. It's not all about, like, bubble baths and face masks. For me, it's really about just, like, checking in with myself, seeing, like, where my thoughts are. And once I figure out what my thoughts are, it's like, okay, this is what you need, So self-care for me can be, I know that this is not necessarily what you asked, Alexa, but self-care for me can just be going to the store and, like, buying something for myself, something that's going to add to my self-care regimen. Like, I have a few new products that I've been trying lately that are, like, that are just, like, feminine products, and those have been, like, sparking joy. So making sure I'm, like, doing things that make Brittney happy. I'm speaking about myself in third person. Weird. But but yeah, like, being mindful about it. Being mindful. I could do better with the schedule. Like, I will admit to that. Because it's easy to, like, wake up and get straight to the day and, like, start working on things, or, like, scrolling Instagram, which, terrible. That's terrible for you.
Terrible habit.
But we do it, though. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Rika. What?
You, girl. How do you incorporate time for self-care into your routine?
When I feel the need, like, I can feel it, like, okay, it's time to kind of take a break, and that break sometimes is for a day or 2 or 3 days, because of, like, my workload. I feel like I can allow myself to have, time. So I think, in short, that's how I incorporate self-care into my routine, is giving myself time, like the time that I know that I need to recover and recharge. and regroup.
Yes.
In whatever ways that looks, because it's not always the same every time. Sometimes it's just like laying up on my couch all day. Uh, Other times it's me going into like clean mode and cleaning up my entire house. And by the end of the night, I run myself a bath.
Mm-hmm.
I light candles everywhere. And I just sit with myself. Or like this morning, I gave myself time to just sit in my own thoughts. Like I woke up and I didn't do anything. I just sat there. I didn't turn anything on. I didn't call anybody. I just sat there for like a good hour, almost 2 hours in like silence. Reading some articles, but just monitoring like where my thoughts were going as I was like reading.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I don't know, my self-care is kind of non-traditional.
Yeah. I don't think that like at this point, I don't think that self-care is traditional anymore. You know, like I don't even know what that looks like, because I feel like self-care is different for everybody. And I think that it's everyone's responsibility to like identify what self-care is for them. You know, like regardless of what you see on the internet, like self-care, you got to figure out what works for you and what you need at that specific moment. But I also think that self-care, we need to like normalize self-care as like a preventative measure rather than something that we're like doing once we feel like we're burnt out or something.
Exactly.
Because I feel like that's what I had to learn, like running my brown box, because there was a point where I'm like, I'm burnt out. Like I literally can't do anything. I just lay here on in like a fetus position. But you know, like I had to learn, like you got to take care of yourself before you reach that point where you're just burnt out, you know? And those are like stuff that I'm still learning, you know, and it's like things that you know, but you don't always abide by.
Yeah.
But I do like how you say, you know, you just like take the like quiet time to check in with yourself to see where your thoughts go, because I think that that's something that we all need to do, and something that like quarantine forced a lot of people to do. Like, and some people you realize how uncomfortable you are with like that quiet time with yourself.
Right. I'll tune somebody out quick. Get a phone call. No, I will call you when I get out of this space. Like I don't play about that.
For sure.
How did you identify your it factor, the thing that separates your platform from others?
Well, that's a good question, Erica. Orisha, go ahead and answer that first. Orisha.
How did I identify my it factor? I feel like all my answers are so like they're so simple, but they really are true. And I guess I identified my it factors when I like really just start showing up as myself. Like not like just here I am, but like slowly just showing up as me, peeling the layers back, taking the coat off, taking the hat off, you know, taking the extra shirts off, and like really got down to the like the meat of who I am, and just continue to show up in that way regardless of how it makes other people feel. And that is when I identified like, oh, wow, I like what I'm seeing here. And I especially enjoy the responses, not in a vanity way, but the response where I'm out and somebody stops me and says, hey, like, I see what you're doing, whatever, or there's a message and there's heart attached to the message. There's like soul attached to the message. And that is how I identified the it factor of what I've created.
I felt that in my soul. I felt that. Yeah, no, that's real. It's like when you, like I said earlier, I feel like when you move from a place of like passion and purpose and authenticity, that's when you identify your it factor, because other people they're going to recognize that. And it's like when you put yourself into it, it's you. It's like that's how you separate it, because there's no one else who was like you, you know. And it's like, just put that realness into it, put that authenticity. Like, I'm repeating myself, but it's all about like the authenticity. And it's going to resonate with other people if you're feeling it and you're being real about it. And I think that, like, for me, answering that same question, my it factor was ultimately like what I said, but at the same time, like, learning about what resonates with my audience and like putting out a specific type of content as going to appeal to a specific person or type of person, so you can kind of like, it helps you to be able to shape your target audience. And then it's like, okay, I know this audience, so like, I know it's going to appeal to them. I know what they're going to like. I know what they're going to hate, you know. So it's like, I'm gonna steer away from that. But yeah, that's really it. Just like learning your audience and seeing what they gravitate to, but also making sure it feels good for you, because I think that, like, that's number one, is making sure it feels good for you first. Because if it don't feel good for you, it ain't gonna feel good. It might feel good for other people, I don't know, but
it won't.
It ain't gonna
It's
feel
not.
good for mom. Yeah, and like,
It's
probably
not.
chances are you're not gonna be able to stick with it, or you're not gonna want to like stick with it if it's not from a place of like passion or purpose. Yeah, like, that was one of my tweets, is like doing all things with purpose, or like not doing it at all, because I just can't. Like, I just can't. I can't do anything that's like not purpose filled anymore. I'm too old for that, for one. Two, it's just like, it's a waste of time. So I hope that answers your question. Yes, being proactive versus reactive when it comes to your self-care.
Right.
That's important. Ooh, child, what is the wish you knew when you were starting your business? Woo.
I can't say that I wish I knew a thing, because I feel like all of the encounters that I had leading up to me starting my business really helped me be able to navigate the way that I've been able to navigate. I was just thinking about this yesterday. Like, I'm actually glad I went through the uncomfortable things that I went through to be able to operate in Bad Girl Good Human in the way that I can, or the way that I do. And I don't know. I guess all the tips that I learned from my encounters with other people in situations, in the world, in my own like artistic endeavors beforehand. Like, there were tips in those things, you know. But I feel like that's the thing. You gotta want to find the tips, you know. You gotta want to look for the tips, because they're there. And that's one thing that one quote that sticks out to me. I'm probably gonna put it on my wall somewhere, but it's, don't miss the message by hating the messenger. Whatever the messenger looks like. Again, it could be a person, it could be like a particular random situation, but don't miss the message by like hating the teacher. Like, you might not, the teacher might really be trash. However, don't miss the message, because the message can carry you so much further than your feelings for this person in that moment.
Yeah. Pay attention to the message, y'all.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a gem. That's super profound. I don't have that for you guys. But what I do have,
Oh my goodness.
like things that I wish I knew. Like building a business that started off with, well, I still have products, but started off with a product. I wish that I knew like about shipping costs and like how to most effectively ship out products, like the rates and stuff, because it's a lot of things that can like eat up, cost a lot if you don't know, if you're just unaware of, the thing. So it's like doing the research and like talking to people and learning from other people who are in business. Doesn't have to be the same kind of business, but just like people who are in business, because you can learn a lot from other people, obviously. So like, what else? Another thing I didn't know. I didn't know that I would become a person where people like, sometimes people look at me as more of a resource. Like people who I think is like a friend, they're like, they want something from me, you know, rather than like a friendship, or like a friendship just so that they can get the message, you know, and like that's something for me. Like I also want to talk about boundaries, but that's something that I didn't know. I didn't know like it would transform into that. So I'm really big now on just like protecting my personal space and like creating boundaries. And yeah, I want to talk about that with you, about boundaries. But yeah, there's a lot of things that we're gonna talk about it live, but we also gonna have that on offline conversation. So I have a question. So complete this statement for me.
Okay.
Boundaries also look like that. You ain't know I was about to come with the complete the phrase.
I think that honestly, the one that comes to mind, just right off the top, and I feel like you know that this is like what this boundary is for me or what it looks like for me, is
like
bye. And it's not even in like a, oh, I hate you. Like it's never in that way, but it also it looks like for me, boundaries look like for me, it's like disappearing. And I've learned, but honestly, for real, like I've learned that that's in some situations that's not the best way to do the thing. But in order for me to protect myself from what is occurring, I have to subtract myself. Like I'm not going to continue to like be around a thing that is not suitable for me. This does not serve me. So why am I still here? I'm going to dip. All love, but good night and goodbye.
For sure. And people are feeling that we got a yes. Yeah, no, I'm with that 100%. Boundaries to me also looks like just like leaving them on red, you know, and like there's people right now who I still have to respond to. I'm not leaving you on red because I can't. No, you probably not tuned into this, but there are people who there are people I'm leaving on red right now, you know.
Oh, man.
It's just because it's just like I just can't, like, and that's just what like.
Yeah,
that's just my thing. Like I can't do it right now. Like I'm not willing. I'm not able. I don't have the mental capacity.
No. Actually, you know, the time is up. I don't have any more time to allocate to you.
You ain't got no time.
I don't have no time.
Yeah.
Time is sensitive. I can't get that. What did I put on Twitter? That's what I put. You can't re-up on time, so you're not finna waste it. So, bye.
Goodbye. I'm just the hype man, y'all. I'm just the hype.
Yo.
I'm the hype man.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, no, that's the realest thing she ever wrote.
So, okay. How should we wrap this up? We've been here for like an hour, like a solid hour now.
Oh my gosh. I haven't even, let me see. I have more questions for you before we wrap this up, actually.
Of course. Let's shoot it.
Hold on. Let me see. Okay, so this is my question. So, running Bad Girl Good Human, you know, like I know that you work with a very small team. So I'm curious to know, like, starting a business, how has, like, do you feel the need to be online a lot all the time? Like, and how does that contribute to your, I mean, I don't know, like, how do you stay balanced, like, being online? Because there's a lot of things, just like scrolling, there's so many different worlds that you can fall into, and like looking for content and things of that nature. Like, how is that for you? Just like answer it, you know, however you want to.
Yeah, being online can be kind of like draining. But I will say again, like before I started Bad Girl Good Human, being online and like saving and archiving certain images, I was doing it because at the time, I didn't have like this safe space, like the actual space that I'm in that I run Bad Girl Good Human with.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have this. So I was subconsciously looking at things that I knew that I wanted my space to feel like and look like. And the world that I wanted to build for myself, the world that I wanted Bad Girl Good Human to look like, the imagery, I just saved it. So me looking at it from that way, it doesn't really bother me that much to be online, because every image that I'm looking for, that I'm pinning, is still building this world. It's building this village. So it also that allows me to be selective in what I engage in.
Yeah.
You know,
So it's like filter.
it helps me filter out stuff like quickly. Not to say I don't be on there being crazy, like looking at like things that are funny. However, when we're talking business, it's very quick. Like I know what I'm looking for.
I like that.
Because I practiced it for so long. And it's like now that I actually have the physical space, I really know what I'm looking for, because I'm curating it in real time as opposed to saving the image now. You know?
Mm-hmm. So. Okay, that's good. So it's like you're moving with purpose, even on social media. You know, like you get in, get out. Unless you just want to hang out and look at like funny videos of cats or something.
I don't even like cats, but
I know you like it. But that's what people be looking at, like cats. I did see a funny video of a cat the other day, actually. It was like,
how do I not like cats and I'm a Leo? That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. I don't know. Someone Snob Mob said, say that again about time. You can't re-up on time. Ain't that what you said?
You can't re-up on time, so you gotta be real selective on where it goes.
True.
I do want to ask you this.
True.
What or who has influenced you in your life?
What or who has influenced me? Obviously my family. My family has influenced me a great deal. My brother, he's a creative. He is a filmmaker, photographer. So me and him talk for hours, like pretty much every day, about like just like business, creativity, ideas. I will say that my parents, obviously, like they are my biggest cheerleaders. My dad, he's an entrepreneur. He's been in the game for a long time. So that obviously like influenced me a great deal. Whether like I wanted this entrepreneur life or not, I feel like it chose me. My friends, like you, you definitely inspire me. And my boyfriend inspires me. He's like a super visionary, always helping me to like get things together. He helped me get my little setup right. Shout out to the plug. And then it's like I used to be a person who didn't look at other like figures or public figures as like inspiration, which is weird, but I started to think about it like, like you can learn, like I could learn so much from people, and just like having people that I do study. So one person that I really like to follow is Malik Teal. She started subscription boxes, like she started her company when I started MyBrownBox back in like, I don't know, 2012, 2013. So yeah, there's a few women that I follow, but I kind of like, I don't know, guys. I move really quickly, so I don't follow a lot of people like that in terms of public figures. But there are people who are kind of like in the current landscape that I've been digging. But yeah, my family really is my greatest inspiration.
Okay. Sweet.
True that. That was that was like not boring. I feel like that was a boring like answer.
No,
but it's real.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. All right. So what last question, or like anything you want to say, even not even a question, like what is it that you want to leave us with?
It's not my leave a few self-care tips or like wellness tips. I don't know. Like, I don't, honestly, my biggest thing is like not to pour from an empty cup. Like, I'm gonna say that over and over again. You know,
Right.
like, don't give anybody your energy if you don't have it. Why does it feel like I always crash on Willis days? Oh, James, I don't know. I'm sorry. Um, I'm just
Sorry.
nah. But yeah, so like you can't pour from an empty cup. Like I'm gonna say that over and over again because I've encountered trying to pour from an empty cup over and over again. And it's just like fill your own cup first. Like you do you first, and then you can do for other people if that's what you choose to do, which you know is important. But I also think that like being positive, trusting the process, and going with the flow. Like I do believe in the law of attraction. I feel that like when I get into the flow, and I think it was Oprah that said this, like you cannot be above or below the flow. Like you have to be right there with it. And when
Right.
you're right there with the flow, things fall into place, y'all.
Yeah.
They fall into place. And I
Yeah.
think that you and I both can attest to like the manifestation that can happen once you're aligned with like your purpose and just like doing you. Um, and then what's the last thing that I would say? The last pointer I have like is start today, start now, and
Yeah.
pivot, and make revisions along the way.
Yeah. Same. That's literally what I was gonna say.
That's what it is. What else? I know you got something else.
I don't.
Decide and commit.
That's really it. That's really it. Just decide
Mm-hmm.
and commit to that thing that you decided to do every day. Every day. And it's like small. You don't have to do leaps and bounds all the time. Like, yes, there will come a time where you have to take, great leaps, but I feel that the greatest change in my life has come from doing the most mundane things every single day. And then looking up and looking back and being like, oh, wow, the baby steps is really what counts. Those baby steps is what's going to get you really far. You just got to
Right.
keep doing it.
Right. And I got another thing to say that like I had this written on like a little board in my kitchen. It's like, don't complain if it ain't complete. So like if you haven't even started or you've started and you haven't done like your best or like what you can do, don't complain because you ain't tried. You ain't tried hard enough. So, like I've seen people like they'll get into something or want to start something. Oh yes, don't sleep on an idea that comes to you every day.
Yep.
If it's coming to you every day, it's probably supposed to
be there.
Supposed to happen.
Yeah. Supposed to do something with it.
Yep. And I think that like perspective is everything. Like being, you have the power of your perspective. So, just be mindful of it. Be mindful and try to keep it positive if you can. Right. And another thing I think that is kind of taboo within like the Black community is going to therapy though. Therapy. We didn't touch on that, but I think that like if you feel like you need therapy or if it will be beneficial to you, do that. Look, this is the only time I'm gonna curse. Do that shit then. Period.
And that's that.
That's that, and that's on period. You got anything else?
I don't. I just feel so grateful that you even wanted to do this with me. Like, you pulled me in on this, so I just want to thank you for giving me the space to, like, share my voice. I love you so much, man. Like, I love you beyond what I can even express, so thank you.
Thank you for joining me, because this, like I said, y'all, this is my first live stream, so I was super nervous, but I think that this went well, and I'm really happy that you guys tuned in and were present, asked your questions, and yeah, like it's good to see some familiar faces here as well as some not so familiar faces, but I'm happy that you guys tuned in to the Foot Locker Women Conversation. And thank you, Foot Locker, for doing this and for providing the space once again for us. It's been a pleasure, and we're excited to continue creating with you all.
Right. Thank you guys so much. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening or day. And see See you soon.
Wait, one last thing. Oh, where can they find you if they want?
Oh yeah. You can find me. My personal account is at Hues of Style, HUESOFSTYLE, and the business page is at Bad Girl Good Human, all one word.
True that. And y'all know where to find me at MyBrownBox, and my personal page is Britt.digital. So that's BRITT, digital. Yeah. So see y'all.
Bye.
Bye.